नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन्निति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे. Hare Krishna everyone, welcome back. Let's discuss shloka number 4 of chapter 6. But before that, there are a few points that I haven't discussed with you up until now as related to the Ashtanga Yoga steps. So let us look at that a little bit and then we will enter shloka number 4. So in Ashtanga Yoga, the very first step that I said was Yama. And what is Yama? Yama means the don'ts. And the next thing is Niyama, which is right opposite of that, which is do's. So the do's and the don'ts. This is actually kind of little bit of tricking thing, because anything that you state as a don't can also be stated as a do. Okay, so don't get into all the nitty-gritties of it. So, for example, right, ahimsa, to be non-violent. Now we can say don't be violent, that is a yama. And on niyama, be compassionate for everyone, which means the same thing, not to be violent, but it can be stated as a do. Okay. So now in yama, the don'ts, there are primarily 5 aspects of yama. That is ahimsa. Number 1, ahimsa, to be non-violent. 2 is asatya, don't speak lies. And 3, asteya, which means don't steal others' property. And aparigraha, don't over-accumulate things, don't be greedy, don't hoard stuff. And then brahmacharya, which is celibacy. So these are all 5 coming under yama. And then there is niyama. Niyama has also 5 points. 1 is santosha, to be always satisfied, not cribbing about this is not there, that is not there, this didn't go the way I want, that didn't go, always feeling morose and anxious and stressed and worried, cribbing and complaining. This is not part of the yogic process. To be santushtaha, to be content, to be satisfied. Okay. Otherwise, if we are cribbing and complaining, always the mind is going to go on that which we feel like is scarcity. Then we can't focus our mind. So the niyama, first thing, it says santosha, be content, be satisfied. And then shaucha, cleanliness. There's internal cleanliness, there's external cleanliness. Focus on both of them, and especially internal cleanliness, the cleaning of the heart. And then 3, swadhyaya. So an integral part of the yogic process is swadhyaya. Swadhyaya. Individually, nicely sit and get deeper into the shastric study, meditate upon it, contemplate, make notes, scrutinizingly think about it from different angles, how to apply it, all these things, swadhyaya, deep study, deep scriptural study. Then 4th is tapa. Tapasya is also an integral part. You can't be very luxuriant in your ways and say, I am a yogi. So some voluntary tapasya has to be taken, some level of austerity, like fasting for Ekadashi. And again, this tapasya should be sanctioned by the scriptures. It's not like I come up with something mentally concocted way of doing some tapasya and torturing the body and mind. That is not recommended. Like for all the appearances and disappearances of our acharyas, we fast until noon. Now that is authorized by the scriptures. Ekadashi vrata, Janmashtami vrata, things like that. Chaturmasya vrata, Kartik Mas vrata, anything that is sanctioned by the scriptures, that much of tapasya we can take. And then Ishvara Pranidhana, complete absorption in the Lord, making Lord the priority in our life. So these are all niyamas. So yama, 5 aspects we just touched upon. Niyama, 5 aspects we touched upon. And then there is asana, the physical postures. Unfortunately today, when we talk about Ashtanga Yoga, the Patanjali Yoga system, most of the people of the 8 steps, they only focus primarily on 2 steps, that is asana and pranayama, and little bit on dhyana. But they forget that even for you to do asana pranayama, which is third and fourth step, first you should do yama and niyama. Like celibacy, how many people are following celibacy? They take intoxicants. The person may have drunk the night before and next day morning he may come to the yoga studio and be performing yoga. Now what kind of yoga is that? I guess beer yoga, I don't know. So all these things are important, but people have forgotten these things and they just think it's some physical postures. Of course, it will have some benefit for the health, but it's not yoga. Just call it exercise. If you're doing for health benefit, then it's simply exercise. It's not yoga. Yoga means at a deeper level, you're connecting to the Supreme Lord. Are you following the yama? Are you following the niyama? Are you being thoroughly honest? Are you being non-violent? Have you let go of greed? Are you studying scriptures? Are you doing tapasya? Then yes, then later it is asana. And then pranayama. In pranayama also there are 5 different types of life air. Pranavayu, apanavayu, samanavayu, udanavayu and vyanavayu. So 5 different types of airs. All of them must be controlled. And then 5th step is pratyahara, shutting off all kinds of sense gratificatory external stimuli. And then dharana, which I have mentioned earlier, meditating upon the Paramatma within the Lord. Unlike today, people say meditate upon some light, meditate upon some crack in the wall, meditate upon this, that. No, all that is not given in the scriptures. They're just fooling people, cheaters and cheated. Ashtanga yoga means like Dhruva Maharaja did, focus on the Paramatma within the heart. And in Dharana stage, it's for about greater than or equal to 24 seconds and then you gradually increase. In Dhyana stage, you can meditate for 24 minutes straight. And then in the Samadhi stage, there is complete absorption, intelligence, mind, senses, everything completely absorbed in the consciousness of the Supreme. So it's quite a detailed process actually. So please don't get fooled by people doing some physical exercises and then calling it yoga. It's a misnomer. And here in the 4th shloka, Krishna is saying, Yada hinendriyarteshu na karmasvanusajjate sarva sankalpa sannyasi yoga rudastadochyate. So what is the characteristic of somebody who has achieved the yoga ruda stage? All this. Yadahi nendriyarteshu, no sense gratification activities, has given up the fruitive results. Sarva sankalpa sannyasi, no material desires. So this yoga ruda is not simply a title somebody carries, but it is something that they display through their characteristics. And these are the characteristics that Krishna is stating in shloka number 4. And in the next video, we will enter into shloka number 5. And let me warn you, or not actually a warning, let me just give you a heads up, I should say. In the next few shlokas, Krishna is going to focus so much on mind control because the crucial element for this Ashtanga yoga is mind. So Krishna is going to talk about mind control. So let us see all the various interesting things that's going to come about in the next few shlokas. I'll see you very soon. Take care. Hare Krishna.